To a terrible story that is pretty much hard to believe. A 6-year-old, you heard right, a 6-year-old is in custody for allegedly shooting his teacher. And
okay, do you know what though? No, hear me out, hear me out. Hear me out.
I hope she's not dead, man. That's tragic.
The other incident of the baby, the 9-month-old baby getting arrested and stuff, was just outright dumb. Do you know what I'm saying? The baby never did anything. Babies don't know right from wrong.
Babies are only accused of occasionally robbing mom and dad of a good night's sleep. But one 9-month-old in Pakistan just escaped attempted murder charges.
Attempted murder charges against a 9-month-old baby in Pakistan have been thrown out. The case generated international outrage, and many used it to point out the failed legal system of the country.
CTV has more on how 9-month-old Mohammed Musa Khan was even charged to begin with.
The baby and all the members of his family are accused of trying to kill gas company officials by throwing stones at them.
According to The Independent, the boy was booked in February and charged with planning a murder, threatening police, and interfering with state affairs. But after pictures surfaced of Musa Khan crying as he was being fingerprinted,
Planning a murder.
No. Interfering with state affairs. Are you kidding me?
But 6-year-olds are old enough to know right from wrong. 6-year-olds are old enough to know what they're doing. That's bad.
This 6-year-old picked up the Glock and shot his teacher.
This 6-year-old needs to stay in prison because that is a dangerous 6-year-old.
You know, guns have a lot of recoil on them. You gotta have quite a sturdy hand to shoot a gun. This 6-year-old picked up the gun and shot her. First of all, how the hell did he
get it?
How did he get in school? I'm saying that there's like a school shooting every other weekend in America.
Yeah, I get it, but I don't think that they'd expect a 6-year-old to have one.
Yeah, expect the unexpected.
It's maybe the older sort of, I don't know. I don't know much about it, but I would assume it's the older sort of kids with the guns. They would not expect a 6-year-old to be rocking up to school with a gun. And where did the 6-year-old even get the gun from?
You gotta imagine this in your head. Little Timmy's walked into class with his Thomas the Tank Engine backpack. Pulled the Glock out of his backpack.
But
what
has the teacher even done that's so bad to warrant him to think, do you know what? Fuck this. Sorry, my bad, my language. I'm going to shoot you.
I don't know.
It's a crazy world we're living in.
Let's see what happened.
Virginia police believe it may have been done deliberately. NBC's Aaron McLaughlin has the details. Aaron.
May have been done deliberately.
Hey, that Pakistani kid has got to run for his money. We might have a new mafia boss on our hands.
Every parent's worst nightmare, gunfire in a classroom. It happened in Virginia when a student opened fire, injuring their teacher. Police say there was an altercation, and this was not an accident. In Virginia,
active shooter. There is lockdown. Unknown where the shooter is at this time.
A community terrified following America's latest school shooting. Parents once again asking that haunting question, is my child safe?
My heart stopped. I was freaking out, very nervous.
This time the gunman wasn't a man at all, but a 6-year-old boy who'd allegedly shot and wounded a teacher on Friday afternoon.
This was not an accidental shooting.
According to police, the unidentified child...
This motherfucker planned it. They've made a point to say several times that this is not an accident. A 6-year-old woke up in the morning and said, I'm going to shoot my teacher.
Do you think maybe it was like he just hasn't liked her for a while and then one day actually woke up and thought, I'm bringing this gun, I'm going to shoot her? Or do you think he just bought the gun to school to show his friends and then just...
No.
Was like, watch this?
No, she probably did something to annoy him. Now, my question is, how the hell did the 6-year-old get the gun in the first place? Because if you've got a gun in your house, and I'm not against guns, I think people should have the right to own guns, but you got to be responsible with that shit. That shit has to be in a safe, locked up, well away from the kid's reach. The kid should not be able to access the gun under any circumstances. How this kid got the gun is beyond me. It's actually beyond me. This is negligence of the highest order. At no point should the gun be left outside of the safe. At no point. It's crazy that a 6-year-old, I mean, they're saying it's not an accident. So this kid's probably smart enough to know that, hey, my parents don't lock up that safe. My parents leave it out. This guy put it in his WWE backpack, went into school, pulled it out, and said, hands up.
Don't, because you're making me laugh and then people are going to think I'm being insensitive.
Oh, obviously, I'm not being... It's not you. I'm the one making the comments. You can laugh if you want, but obviously...
Because you said his WWE backpack.
But he came into school with his Conor McGregor backpack and he pulled it out, and that's crazy. I mean, I'm making light of it. Luckily, nobody died. Nobody died in this situation. It's a 6-year-old. It's like the Pakistani kid where they called him a national security threat. Like you just have to laugh at these things. I feel sorry for the lady. I'm glad she didn't die. I hope there's no long-lasting injuries. But a 6-year-old walking into school with a Ben 10 backpack and pulling out his gun is just insane to me.
Armed with a handgun, fired a single shot inside a first-grade classroom at Richneck Elementary, sending the school of 550 students into lockdown in the city of Newport News, Virginia.
This was not a situation where we had a student going up or any other individuals going up and down the halls with actively firing in a long shooting incident. It was in a classroom.
Authorities say the teacher, a female in her 30s, has life-threatening wounds but is improving. The 6-year-old shooter was arrested.
Today, our students got a lesson in gun violence and what guns can do to disrupt not only an educational environment, but also a family, a community.
Parents picked up their children from the school's gym, eager to see their faces.
Oh, God, I lit up. It's my baby. It's my baby. He's okay.
Do you know what? That's going to be so traumatic for all them other students in that class.
But she said life-threatening injuries. Did he shoot her more than once?
It depends on where he shot her, though.
This is what America is a wild. I'm assuming this happened. This happened in America. America is a wild place, bro. I'm not shitting on you guys, but that is wild.
Would the parents
should take full responsibility?
Could the parents go prison for this as well?
Yeah, of course they should. The kid's not going to go prison. This is going to go on his record. He shot someone. Sounds like he shot them more than once. She's got life-threatening injuries, but at least she's stable.
But if the parent has a gun license, can they still get in trouble?
Yeah, because the kid doesn't have one. If you have the gun license, only you can hold it.
If the kid's taking it without them seeing,
that's not the law's problem. Like if I own a gun and then you go and pick up and start shooting people, that's my problem. I own that gun. It's my responsibility. I think the parents are the ones that should get in trouble for this personally. Like this is absolutely crazy.
No students were physically injured, but they were terrified. Class was canceled on Monday. The police chief says they're in contact with the city's Commonwealth attorney to figure out how to get services to the child. The investigation is ongoing, including how a 6-year-old got a hold of a gun.
What I don't understand is that in the morning because I'm assuming he's a 6-year-old, the parents bring him to school, right? So when you're packing his Naruto backpack, why are you not checking what's in there? I mean, did you pack it for him? Like, what happened here? Did the 6-year-old get himself ready? A teenager, I can understand, they're a bit more reckless. Parents don't have full control over them, even though they should probably vet their children a little better. But a 6-year-old, you get that kid ready for school and you pick them up. You should be seeing what goes into their backpack. And somehow this kid picked up his Goku backpack and packed a gun, and this woman almost bit the dust. The parents should 100% pay for this.
But this will be to do with upbringing of what he's seeing around him, what he's hearing around him. Because no kid is going to just outright think in his own mind, oh, a gun, let me take it, let me shoot my teacher. Like, you've got to be around something that makes you think in your mind that this is normal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for the kid to be like, I'm going to kill this woman.
Whether it's films or games or what the parents are saying or what this kid's witnessed himself, it's all going to play a part in it.
Can you imagine, like...
Hospitalized by a 6-year-old.
Walks into school, decked out in Fortnite gear, and just pulls out the gun. Starts lighting you up. Feel sorry for that lady, man. Luckily, she didn't die, but now they're going to have to start doing like metal detectors in primary school. I don't know, what do they call them? Elementary schools in America. That shit's crazy.